Okay, okay, this is a video about happiness and excitement. Look at the look on my wife's face. She is beaming. Not that she's usually gloomy, but she's had a long 4 or 5 year fight with her sewing machine,
I have. It's been
which
a
is,
long time.
which you're getting rid of finally. Not
Yes.
yet, but soon.
Yes.
And you bought this $200 thing you found online, and it's here.
Look at this.
And you have been chirping like a magpie ever since.
So now that I have my machine, I had promised to make someone who I made them a quilt 2014, I think it was, and she lost the quilt when she moved, and so she asked me to make another one, and so I'm making something similar, not the same thing, obviously. Anyway, so what I decided to do was to take a drawing, an image from the farm, and put it into the quilt, and so I did the back porch. So I'm doing the back porch. So here's
Which looks great.
This is I'm just started working on it today, and I did these drawings of it yesterday. I did a bunch of drawings.
First, pause to explain what this machine is, for those who don't know.
Well, this is a heavy duty Singer sewing machine, and it's a regular sewing machine. But what you can do with a regular sewing machine, I can't do this on my other sewing machine, my Genome. I can't do that. No, it's a great machine because it's a don't wonderful machine, and it's great for just straight sewing. But it doesn't have the button to put the feed dogs down. So when you put the feed dogs down, look at that. When you put the feed dogs down, you can do free motion sewing.
And free motion sewing is, you love to do that.
I love doing free motion sewing. And
Just say what that is. Just say what that is.
It's where, when you have the feed dogs, regular sewing, it feeds the fabric through. Free motion, you move the fabric to do.
So you can really sketch, like sketching.
I'm doing drawings.
Which were harder to do on that other machine.
Very hard to do on the other machine. Never worked right. Yeah, and the thing about this one, it has this wonderful platform, which you can get platforms for other machines. You can have them custom made, but I really like this type. I mean, this is the type that really works for me. So I'm once again very happy. This is like when I first got my brother's sewing machine. It's the same. I have the same feeling about it. So yeah, so I make the drawings, and then I just look at the drawing, and I stitch directly on to the fabric from the drawing. So here I'll do a little plant. You see, you have the little flower pot. Let's see. I haven't really thought about. Thread out of the way. It works like a dream.
Can we see?
It works just like a dream, this machine.
So what is this? Just say again what this really does. It allows you to move like that without interruption.
Well, what you're doing is you move the fabric around. So the needle stays in place, and you move the fabric around. It's the opposite of drawing, right? Where you have a pencil and you move your pencil on the paper. Here, this is your paper. This is your pencil.
And the art comes from your moving, how skillfully you're moving.
Well, you move the paper around.
And I can see the difference. It really makes a difference.
It's just this machine is just amazing. It just works perfectly for me.
So I want to say on a serious note, you and I both have had experience with what we call creative machines, creative tools. This was sort of the birth of the Steve Jobs stuff about you make these things for creative people who may not know how they work, but they use them to make new creative things. You've already done like 3 things from this thing right off the bat.
I know.
That are different, that you wouldn't have done before.
That I haven't been able to do in years, that I really haven't felt comfortable doing in years.
And which more than pays for the machine, and which really unleashes your creativity.
Oh, yeah.
This is how I feel about computing in a way. I don't know how an Apple works, but I know it makes it possible for me to take my pictures and store them and blah, blah, blah,
Absolutely. And even my other sewing machine, my brother's sewing machine, it was old, and it was rickety, and it was, broken, and I had like duct tape on it, and it makes a really big difference having a machine that is. It's like when you get you have an old car and you drive it and like everything rattles. I don't know if old cars do that anymore, but they used to.
I don't think that's allowed anymore.
They probably don't do that anymore. But it's that kind of thing. Everything's tight. Everything's just where it's supposed to be, and it makes sewing so easy.
So this is going to take you to new places. I
Yeah.
can see that
I'm
already.
going to definitely be doing more of this again.
So
more
how else will
drawing
that
again.
affect your work? Just so you,
I'm not sure yet. I mean,
but
who
you know,
knows?
you'll be doing new things and
I'll be
trying
doing
new
more,
things.
I'll be doing more drawing with it, definitely.
So it's a big moment. It's a nice big
no,
moment.
it's a big deal, and it feels great. And the idea that I got this for $200, and it's such a good sewing
you
machine.
can't get over that.
I can't get over it, and it's so simple. You know,
And this is not, by the way, a
so
person who spends
simple.
money on stuff
It doesn't
easily.
have any of that computerized stuff that the other machine. It's like, you know.
I go through this all the time, but they're doing things, they do things that you don't need or want.
Yeah.
It would just make it more complicated.
Yeah. I mean, some things make a difference, you know what I mean? And then other things are just like, they're just ancillary. Like all the stitches. I don't need a million stitches because I never use them. I don't need a computerized machine because I don't use that part of it.
I just got this Apple computer. I had toiled up a bit. It does dynamic pictures that move in front of you as a backdrop.
Right.
Who needs that?
You don't need it. You're not going to sit
I'm
there
looking
and
at this
watch the
clouds
move.
flying over a mountain. I want to get to work. This is great. This is great to see. You're so excited. Happy to see that, and I'm proud of you as usual. But it's really interesting for me to see this, because this really opens up a whole new path for you.
Yeah.
That you've wanted to do for years and you've
Yeah.
not been able to
And I
do
have been
with
doing
a
it,
very
but-
expensive machine.
Yeah, I have been doing it, but not to the degree that I could have done it. Because every time I got on that machine, it jammed up, something broke, it didn't work, something was wrong. And now I don't have to.
Look, when
there's
I get a
none of
new
that.
lens, I start taking new kinds of pictures
Yeah, it's
that
the
I
same
didn't know
thing.
I could take or
It's the
thought
same
about.
thing, right.
And so it's amazing. So this is great.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to see that. Do you want to do a final little burst there for
Sure.
for your many fans?
A little plant. I'll do another little plant.
And while you're doing that, I have to see. We have one right here. Bud is hot.
There we go. So now we
Snip
have
this
the
in.
plant in the pot.
Oh, wow. See, what I didn't quite get is how this is really about you're moving the fabric rather than you're drawing it.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
whole different experience.
It is.
But you're obviously very
Completely
good at it. Look at that. Well, all right. I think that's enough. I think we're up
think
to
that's enough?
7 minutes.
Oh, that's way too
No.
long.
I think it's worth every second of
know.
it. I think it's really
All right.
exciting.
Well, thank you for coming to my studio.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
I've got
everybody.
this video, and we'll be seeing more of you, I hope. We're going to have a good weekend. I can tell we're going to have a very
I know.
good weekend. If I see her at all, which may not be the case. All right. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.